Hiya, and sorry it's been so long since my previous videos. An awful lot has been going on, but I'm back. I'm in the hut. I've got the fire on. It's a horrible day out there. I've got some paints left over from a previous lesson earlier in the week, so I'm going to be using those up. We did a winter scene. In fact, that's it just there. So we did a winter scene. So I've still got winter colours to add, but as you can see I've got quite a lot of alizarin crimson, so I'm thinking of doing, rather than just blues, doing more purples and soft warmer colours, because it's, don't know what it's like obviously where you are, but it's a miserable damp grey day. My mum and aunt were alive, they'd be calling it a dreich day. And we don't like dreich days, so I'm in the hut. We're going to be cheering ourselves up. So let's start with the sky, shall we? I'm going to start with a warm spot in my sky, and I'm going to go straight into the alizarin crimson. I'm going to tap because I don't want a great deal in there. I want a pink sky, but I don't want a bright red sky. If I wanted that, I'd be in there. So that's all I'm doing. Okay, so here goes. Where are we going to start? We'll start with a little bit right across the middle. How's that? Now I have put obviously my liquid white on here. But I have also previously, I've put another couple of coats of gesso on here, because I've learned to my cost, and I think you've seen it on a couple of my videos, where I've gone in and the liquid white has just disappeared. Now my liquid white went a bit loopy during the summer, so there's lots of bits in it. So we'll just pick them up as and when we see them. We'll pick them out with the corner of the brush, pretty much like you do if you've got a hair come off the brush. And I've just got a piece of paper here, and I'm just wiping the flakes of paint off. Okay, because you do want it nice and smooth, and I've also taken it round the corner. Okay, just because I've got a deep edged canvas, that's the only reason. It wasn't any other reason than that. So I'm going to work it in a little bit, and then I'm just going to wipe my brush down the bottom, because that's where the snow is going to be, and that won't matter. Right, so now I'm grabbing my knife, doesn't matter which one. I'm going to take some of the blues and some alizarin crimson, and because I didn't use the paint and I only covered it with a little bit of cling film, again we've got a few lumps in it, but hey, we'll deal with those as and when they happen. Okay, I'm going to use a bit more alizarin crimson because I do want it quite purple. I know at the moment it just looks black. If you want to know, you know the old trick. If you want to know what colour you got, now you see that's far too blue. So I'm going to add a lot of alizarin crimson, because I really do want, and I know where my paints are today. I've got them in a box down there, so we're okay. Okay, and that's getting there, but I still think I wanted a little bit more. So, if you will excuse me while I find my alizarin crimson. Hello, it's all in a box down the bottom. Just need to try and make room on my table, and I can't get that one open, so I'll go for this one. But, okay, I've got a bit of arthritis in my hands. I can't always open the tubes. Nutcrackers, absolutely phenomenal. Best invention ever for getting the lids off tubes of paint. I think I ought to market it. So, here we go again. A little bit more of crimson, because like I say, I do want a more pinky lilac. So that, because the trouble is obviously the blues are so incredibly strong. So they do tend to dominate. And you'll have to excuse me for just a moment. I'm not coming down with a cold, at least I hope I'm not. Okay, not washing the brush. Going into, again, just a little bit. And we'll pop a little bit in here. Again, don't forget round the corners. Okay. Now the reason I did an awful lot of the colour is because I'm going to be using it throughout the painting. I will go a little bit into the bluer side for the top, but not much. Okay, so gosh, looks like bruises when I was little. I was always getting bruised, but then I was a little bit of a tomboy. I wasn't a girly girl, much to my dad's dismay. He would have loved a little girly. I even had really short hair then as well, so sorry Daddy. Right, there we go. Okay, and I'm just going to mix this all up together. As you can see, I brought some of the, I'll sort the top out later because I'm only little, so you can't always get up the top. And we'll mix all this in. There we go. Okay, now there is a very, very thin amount of paint on there. Very thin coat. Not a huge amount. I'm not doing. Now hopefully these will start to look like, there's another bit of paint. As I said, my liquid, well, all my paints, as I'm sure every artist has been complaining, the hot summer was glorious, but I've had to buy a fridge in order to keep my paints workable, but I didn't get to buy my fridge until later on in the summer, so as I'm going through, I'm sort of sorting out my, I'll just put that in there. Okay, maybe have some water, maybe not. All right, how are we looking? Yep, that's a pretty dramatic sky as it is. I am going to put a few little clouds in. So I'm going to use, I've had to invest in quite a few brushes. Okay, I'm going to go into the white. There's a little bit of blue in there. Grab a little bit of purple, pinky purple. It looks like I'm going to need some more titanium white. Okay, so let's see what these new brushes are like, shall we? Ah. Yeah, not bad at all. Trouble is, I did a painting, did lots of clouds and things, lots of ice and everything, and then cleaning up, totally forgot about my brushes. So I had to, now again, these are real brushes, real hair brushes. So you're going to get hairs coming off them. Okay, so I'm going to do that because I really want to bring them quite low down. Okay, so I think we'll leave it at that. We'll clean the fan brush. getting a bit warm in here. I think my fire's really caught hold and now it's, yeah, okay, so time to turn it down a little bit before I cook myself. Okay, now what are we doing? Where are we? Oh, we're going to do the fun bit. So, corner of the brush, just the very, very top corner, nothing else. And then we're going to melt this cloud into the purple, give it some colour. And just stays holding the oils over a fire isn't exactly the best thing to do either. Hot fire. Right, I'm just going around over the edges, making sure this is all meshed. I'm actually tapping that because there's not a great deal of paint around the side, so I may have to go back to that. Okay. Going to go over some of these. Let's say they're picking up the colour underneath, so they're going to look 3D. I'll go around the corner. Oh, I didn't go around the corner there. There we go. I've gone around the corner now. Okay, then we need to fluff them up. And it's very light, but it's firm. And you do need to fluff them up a little bit. Okay, and then set them into the painting, remove the brush strokes. Now I'm going over the whole thing because as I'm gone round in circles, little circles, I'm obviously, there we go. So I'm just going to finish off the corner there. There we go. Okay. So I can see another bit of paint. I say it doesn't matter. There's nothing that can't be fixed in these. You know that. There. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. And I'm going to, again without cleaning it, going to take a little bit of white, some of the purple. I'm going to make it, there we go, quite a light colour. Okay, so we're going into that one. We're going to tap because these are going to be bushes and trees that are in the distance. Okay, so that for me is a little bit dark. So again, put a little bit more light. Tap the corner, go over it, and there they are. Okay, I need to go around the corner, take the tapping with me, and then you can do, as the paint wears off, you can then go back and tap in some from the distance. Okay, go back, tap in a little bit more, as we're going to go fill in around the corner. Now I am just using the very, very top to create some trees, some tall trees, little trees, and then we'll go a little bit darker. No, we won't go a little bit darker, we'll sort this lot out first. Right, first, script liner brush. Let's make some ink. Okay, so using, again, because you won't see a great deal of detail, they are in the distance, just turning the brush. We'll add a few things to hold these up, because otherwise they'll fall over and we don't want that in the middle of winter, do we? In the middle of the painting. Have them falling over, okay. There we go. And then we'll decide which ones are coming forward. So these are all going to be in the background. Okay, so I'm not going to highlight these ones because I'm going to do the darker ones. So they're way in the distance. Again, very economical with the cleaning. I'm going to bring in a little bit of that darker colour and tap it into this light. So I've come down probably another shade. Okay, then I'm going to tap in some more. Bring it down a level. Now I haven't done the old tapping and swooping, although I'm going to, having said that, I'm going to here because I think this looks like it would be a bit of a recess, and I think just there it's a little path between the trees. It's going off into the distance. Okay, now that'll change when I've got the, may as well do it here as well. Put a little bit of lay in the line, drag it down. I'm going to need some more white, but at the moment I'm just using the liquid white because I don't want too much paint on here. But I think that's what we'll do. We'll drag a little bit of shadow out. Okay? Bring that down there. Okay, so as I said, we'll go back, starting round the corner. And we'll bring that down a little bit, probably to about there. Okay, so you see we get a little bit darker, filling down the bottom here. Darker still, because obviously there. Okay, again, oh sorry, what it actually is that I'm falling over is the hearthstone. Just so that you know, I'm not drunk or anything. I am just literally tripping over the hearthstone that's here to catch any sparkles, so I don't set any sparks, so that I don't set the place on fire. My husband has great faith in my ability to set things on fire, so he put in a great big hearthstone here, and that's what I keep tripping over. I must remember that it's there. Okay, again, we'll go into that colour and we're going to do some more sticks. We're going to give this some structure. Oh, I gave that a little bit too much structure there. That was a bit of a heavy stick, so he's going to be in front. Okay, again, we're just using the tip. If it's not flowing, it's not liquid enough, which is what happened there. Okay, and because these are the same colour, obviously you're not going to see a great deal of detail, but some of it will show. Okay, there's a little recess there I can see. Okay, and that can go up. There's some strong old trees and stuff. I'm going to bring that one over because the purple started to sort of gather, so on the corner. So I'm going to put a bit of a tree in there. There we go, and he can come, and he can be quite strong actually on the corner, and that'll tie that in quite nicely. Okay, anything else here? Anything more? Oh, you see that I pressed too hard on that. But because I'm going to be doing the light. Okay. So, new brush. Don't want that one. New brush and new paint. I need new paint. So, again, just put that down there. I've got, this one's Winsor & Newton. I have found that when I can't get hold of the Bob Ross paints. The Winsor & Newton is a good thick paint and works really well. So it's a good alternative if you can't get hold of them. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is tap into the corner. Now I'm going to have these a little bit whiter, a little bit of purple, not a lot. So I'm going to go around the corner where you can't see because that is a huge tree. Okay, so we'll go here. Again, we're just using the very corner of the... Oh, there. Oh my days, how many times am I going to trip over that today? Okay, we're just adding a little bit of highlight. Just a little bit, just to make it look like the frost has played over it. I don't want it to look like there's 6 years worth of snow on it. But I do want it to look like there's been a good old frost this morning. Good heavy frost. We had one the other day. All the cars are typical. It was the day when we needed to get all the cars out and about quite early on. Of course, it never does it on a Sunday when nobody needs the car. So we were out there scraping ice off everything. Okay, so that's my, Now using the same brush, I'm going to come in here, pull out the white, and I'm going to, I need quite a lot of paint, so I'm going to pull out quite a lot of paint there. So, and I really do need to get to as much of a point as I can. Now you can bring these brushes to a very, very fine point, but that's good enough, okay, because we're obviously coming from round the side. We're now going to bring some snow in. I think I'm going to go back there. I think there's a little bit back there, and then we'll bring snow in and down, because let a little bit of that colour come, because then that looks like a nice little bit of shadow. Okay, so I'm not coming down at a huge angle. I'm going to be quite straight with it. There's a little bit of a hill, not a great deal. Come from this side as well. Again, bring it, if you load it full of enough paint, it will come to a perfect edge. But like I say, I'm nearly there. I'm enough there that when I put the brush to the canvas, I do get some nice smooth edge. We're going to mess that up a little bit anyway. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, bring that round there, I think I'm going to have, because there's a nice little path, I'm going to have a path come down, but I'm going to have a path that leads to, I'm going to have a little bit of water, maybe an iced pond that people are going to walk up to, perhaps the animals drink out of, wildlife. Perhaps people come and skate on it, because I think it's going to be fairly frozen. Although there's a lot of warmth in this, it does look like there's, okay, so it does look like there's an awful lot of coldness. So I'm going to choose a little bit, in fact I'm going to use this phthalo blue and I'm going to nick some white. In fact, I'm going to use the phthalo blue with this mix. Okay, so it's sort of bluey purple, because I think to put in completely blue is going to ruin the effect. In fact, I'm bringing in more and more purple as we go along. Okay, so where's my pond going to be? I think my pond's going to be over this side. So touch it, pull down, touch it, pull down. I'm going to add a little bit more pink to that. I think that's a bit dark. So we'll add a little bit of pink as well. A little bit of white down here. There we go. Okay. And I think we're going to leave it there. I'm not bothered about these bits at the bottom. So just go over, make sure they're straight down. Straight down. I've curved it a little bit because I think I'm going to run that off there. Okay. And then go over it. Gently. There we go. I'm going to take a little bit of white and sparkle it a little bit of a shimmer in, again when you go over it. There, okay, right, so now I'm going to take just the white. I'm going to bring the snow down to the water's edge, and I'm going to bring a little bit into the water's edge, and I'm going to come across it. Okay, again from this side. There, and we'll have some land cutting right across in front, quite a hill that's just going to cut in front of the little pond. Okay, so this can blend away as far as we like. Okay, and then that's going to be my little bit of hill. So I fancy a few trees or something there. Okay, so that's our little viewpoint. Right, now I need my knife. I need my liquid white, which is in a pot over there. Where are we going to put it? I'll put it here. Okay, pull it out flat. You can see there's little bits of paint. If you do see any at this point, you can just take them out. Okay, little roll of paint on top of the blade. And it just makes enough of an edge so it pulls it all together. Okay, a little bit of snow. We'll do a little bit around here. Okay, we'll leave that. On this side, again, we'll just show little bits here and there because it's not all, there we go, it's not a complete, right, let me, sorry, I'm just moving the paper out of the way. So I'm going to come back with this, and I'm just going to make a little bit more of a definite inlet there. And there we go. So that looks a bit better of a hump coming down. And then again, I can just use come around that side. There we go. And you can put, if you want, a little bit of colour underneath just to make it look a little bit colder, a little bit more 3D. There we go. Just add a little bit of colour to it, a little bit of depth, just above where colours are. Just touch. Don't need to do anything else. Just touch a little bit of colour above where your eyes underneath. Just do a little bit here. There we go. And if you mess up your waterline like I've just done, do you know what? It doesn't matter because you can go and put it back in again. There we go. Yeah, can you hear the concentration? The old cogs are going, aren't they? Okay. And then, so, go back in with the waterline at the bottom of it. There we are. Okay. A bit of water. Water lines straight across. And there we are. Okay. So that's the end of the lake. So we're going to pull a little bit of colour across the lake so that we've got some snow shadows. I just want to put a little bit more colour in that so it can be seen. I'm literally just doing there you go, and that can disappear off the side, because what I want to do is, again, where's my knife, because I have brown, Van Dyke brown, and I'll mix them on here, and I know they're going to get purple in, but you know what, I really don't care. Why do I not care? Because that'll just tie it into the painting. So I need a little bit darker, I think. We'll put a couple of trees in here. I'm going to have one here that's coming up from here. So I think, yeah, we'll have him coming up from here. So at the moment I'm just touching the canvas, got my roller paint, and I'm literally just touching the canvas. I'm not doing anything else. At the moment I'm just trying to mark out where my tree is going to go. Haven't pulled it out very flat. There we go. Where are we going to go? Oh, we're going to go up there. Okay, and I think we'll have him split in two, shall we? So we'll go over here. And he can go off in that direction. There we go. Make him a bit thicker because he's going to fall over. He's not very thick, is he? So then come up beside it. Now this is where you can tidy up, because I'm doing that kind of motion, but I'm doing it very small, obviously. And you can make this tree as big and as little, as knobbly and gnarly as you want. Now obviously I'm just now going up here, so I'm going to have that one in front of the other. The other one's going to be at the back, so I'm going to put a little bit of red highlight. Don't worry about that mark there because I'll turn that into a branch or something later on. Okay, so flatten him out because I'll put a... Okay, so that's my tree. I'll come around and do some more this side. Okay, and we'll maybe have a branch going off here as well. And he's going to be in front, so he's going to have a little bit of highlight. Okay, but he needs a little bit of dark before we put the highlight in. There we go, and that can go off there. And because that's now quite heavy, because I've got bulk paint, so bring that down, fatten up the tree. There we go. Okay, so that's one tree. I'll put that one over there. And I've just lost my paper. I'm having fun today, I have to say. I hope you are too, because I'm enjoying myself. I'm going to put another couple of trees over this side as well. So again, I'm only using the little knife, but that's just because the little knife was here. I'm going to have another one here. Don't want him quite as tall. He can be as sturdy, but he can be an old dead tree if you want. That's up to you. That's quite a trunk. Okay, that one's going down there, and he leave him down there. We'll sort him out as and when. Well, may as well sort him out now, actually. There we go. He's an old dead one, isn't he? He's not very pretty. And then I'll put in some other little trees later after I've done that. Now we're back to the old script liner again. Going in here. Now during the lesson I did have to say quite a few times that this does have to be like ink. Okay, has to be really runny, because otherwise it won't flow, especially over the amount of paint that we now have on here. Okay, so as we're going up, I think this is the one that doesn't stay in a point, but we'll go up and we'll twist. Go. Hold the brush at the very end. Do as much or as little as you want on your tree, because it is your tree. Here we all got going. That was one we inherited from mother-in-law. But it keeps such good time. It's an old-fashioned one, but with a brass surround and very sort of 60s, but so am I, so. I'm just taking the tree around the corner because the tree wouldn't cut off. Let's say as this is a deep edged canvas. There we go. And we've got quite a knot there, so I think I'll do quite a gnarly branch coming down. Quite a big. There we go. onto that. Twist him. He's dropping forward, so I think we'll have another one there. And what we'll do is we'll add some snow to these. Okay. A brush split on that one, so that looks like there's two growing together, but we can turn that into that. Okay, I think that needs to be a bit thicker. So I'm going to shoot one of those off up there. Okay. Some of those in the background coming off over to the back, at the back of the tree. So that one can curl around the tree, and then if we go back over the tree itself, adding a little bit of dark colour. There we are, the branches are in the back then. There we are. Okay. I think I'm pretty happy with this one now, but I am going to just add a little bit of darkness to that one. Okay. So that it looks, that's quite a branch that's coming off that one. There we are. Okay. I think I'm going to leave him like that. You, on the other hand, need a bit of work. We'll bring that, all that paint down. Tidy him up. Okay, now it's getting a little bit thick, because obviously I'm picking up paint from the tree itself, so do need tidy up that piece. Okay, and this is just going to be a broken. I'm going to leave that like that because that's a broken branch. Take that. I'm going to leave that as a broken branch as well. But the old tree's not dead yet. He's starting to grow new branches. And up here, he's been, it was a rough winter maybe. There, I'm going to leave that like that because I think he's starting to come back to life. So, what we need now is the round brush. Pop into this purple, the dark purple, and got a spot, never mind. Okay, going into the lighter purple, which will require some white, because we're a little bit further back. Like that. So now I need the liquid white because I'm getting quite a lot of paint on there. Okay, so the liquid white. And you're literally just adding a few touches. To just make the individual bushes stand out. We just need a little bit more actual liquid white just to finish off down there. Okay. And then over in the corner, I have a little bit darker highlight. And then take the snow brush, take some of the snow. Oh, we'll pull some of that out. There we are. Stand on there, take some of it round the corner because it won't just appear on the corner. Okay. Right, so now what I would like to do is just add a little bit of snow, or a small knife, small blue knife, little bit of snow to the branches. And all I'm going to do is take a little bit of here, because don't forget this is quite thick paint. I'm just going to dab little bits of snow here and there. Okay, not huge big amount like I've done there. Try and blend it in a little bit. So that one's now going to go in front. That's got quite a lot on. So I'm going to have to put a little bit more on there. Okay, now I've let it drip down a little bit because that's what snow does. Okay, snow does tend to drip. Sorry, I keep hitting the flue as well now. I'm having a whale of a time. Okay, I'll say just a bit. I'm not getting a huge amount over everywhere. I'm not going to do every branch because the wind will come along and take it off anyway. So I'm really doing sort of here and there where I think it might settle. A little bit more than perhaps on others. This old dead branch maybe. There. I'll say just a little bit. I'm not doing huge amounts. There. Okay. Don't think I really want to do much more, and I do want to tidy up this side. It does look rather gnarly. Oh no, it's not a straight tree, but you know, we've got a little gnarl in there now. Okay, right, and I think I'm going to call that quits. I don't think I'm going to put anything else in there. I actually quite like it the way that it is. So I'm going to grab my bright red, quite a bit of it. Sorry, just checking that we're still recording. Pop in the old signature. enjoyed that one. So using up paints, I've still got lots of paints left over, so I'll maybe try and do another couple of videos over the next few days and see where we go. All right, thank you for watching. Oh, and if you want to buy any of these paintings, before I forget, www.rbart.co.uk. Everything's on the store. Thank you.